Alright, hey guys, it's Anthony from 23D1 and I'm going to talk to you guys about um, the drive team today. So how we set up our drive teams and what we expect from our drive teams. So there's three main components to the drive team, and this is just during like a match. So this is excluding what we do at competitions and how we conduct ourselves at competitions. So this is just the drive team during a match. There are three members of the drive team, at least for high school competitions, Vex. There's your drive coach, there's your driver, and then there's someone that we call unofficially Rampy for honorary reasons, but really this is someone we could call like the link. Okay, so let's start with the often what we think is the most important person. Wait, no, before I start that, I have to let you guys know that it's fine if like some teams might not run this exact setup, but this setup is the one that we find most teams using and the one that we find most effective. So that moves me to driver, which is the one that most people associate with like that cool person operating the robot. And driver does sound pretty cool. I mean, you're physically operating the robot, but the driver should really have a really like dedicated and focused mindset, and all the driver really should be able to do is concentrate on the robot and listen to the drive coach. So they have to be a really good listener and they have to communicate super well with drive coach. So drive coach will be like, go and do that thing, and then the driver will just make sure and they do that thing good. All they have to do is make that robot do that thing good. They don't worry about what they have to do, they just worry about making it good and doing that good. If they're unable to do that thing, like they know that the robot is about to burn out because they can feel it, because they've got lots of practice, they tell the drive coach unable, and then drive coach comes up with something else. All right, so driver get a lot of practice into the robot, know how the robot responds, know when to tell how something's off, when something's wrong, not just visually, by just how fast the robot's responding, and the way it's responding, the way it's acting, how much you have to push on the controller to get it to do the thing you want, that kind of thing, all right? Now, drive coach is the one that probably needs the most experience out of the three analyzing the game. So generally we like it so that the driver doesn't necessarily have to be on hardware or programming, like they just have to have knowledge of the robot, right? But the drive coach needs to have some knowledge of the capabilities of the robot and the software, put those together to find out really the ability of the driver mixed in with that, how good they are, and then they have to figure out what's happening on the field. They should be 3 steps ahead of basically what's happening on the field, and their job is to plan out what's the most effective thing to do, what's the best thing to do for the driver, so that they can win the match or so that they can play together. Now, that usually means looking at what the other two robots are doing, looking at what their robot is doing, looking at the situation on the field, looking at where there's congestion, where there's open space, where there's game elements, where there's field elements, and telling the driver one clear instruction. Drive there, pick up that thing, then drive back. Okay? We don't want to overload the driver, because then they get stressed and then they get panicked and then they do the weird thing with the controller where they shake all around it, and then it's not good. Alright? Keep the driver calm, keep them driving smooth, you'll drive faster that way. Now, drive coach doesn't necessarily need to be talking to the other alliance. So that's when our link comes in. So the drive coach, if you're the stronger alliance, then the drive coach basically just either needs to decide if they're working with the alliance, so like if you have a strategy beforehand, or if they're just going to tell the other team to do something. So that's when the link comes into play. So drive coach might be like to the other team, we want the other team to be doing this sort of thing. So it's not so specific anymore, it's we need to be scoring on this half of the field. And then that's what Link will do. Link will be telling that other alliance, or the alliance partner, sorry, what they should be doing and how they should be doing it, or communicating back and forth. So Link is going to take information from the drive coach on my team and then feed it to the other alliance. And then the other alliance, if they have information, they feed it back through Link so the drive coach is able to focus on what they need to do, and Link is going to communicate with drive coach very effectively. So my alliance partner might give me like a whole bunch of feedback, like we can only do this and this and this and this. Link has to figure out what's useful for me and what's not useful for me, give that useful information to me, and then wait for my response to tell back to them. Link also needs to be looking at the time, they're just counting down the time. We find that for the first little bit of the match, counting down every 15 seconds is a good estimate, because we usually do like 15-second intervals. So every 15 seconds we know how much we should be able to be doing, and then near like the last 30 seconds, he just starts counting down faster and faster until we reach that. So that's how the drive team is generally set up within like a match setting, and then we'll just talk about next time I have time to film a video, sort of what we do at the competition before matches to really make it easier on us during the match.